My post about chicken tenders went viral, so let's see how civil these comments are. And admittedly, I made two big mistakes. The first mistake I made with this post is I assumed that the internet would not think that I was trying to tell people that the box of chicken tenders was 200 calories. It is 210 calories per serving, which is 5 pieces. That is 2 family-size 16-piece tenders in one box that I got from the mall, and I sat down to eat a little bit of it for a meal and took the rest home for a meal prep. But maybe the internet's gonna think that I'm telling them 30 plus tenders is 200 calories. The second critical mistake that I made is I made the calories based on the macronutrient profile. So on Popeye's website, the official nutrition facts, the Popeye's blackened chicken tenders for 5 pieces is 3 grams of fat, 3 grams of carbs, and 43 grams of protein. So that is, by the math, it is 211 calories. So in the fast food guide that I'm referencing, I made the calories based off that. If you go to the website, it says 280 calories. So what is this discrepancy of 70 calories for the 5 tenders? I don't know. There is technically a 4th macronutrient, and that is alcohol, but I don't taste Popeyes dousing these in vodka before they serve them. I just don't know how legal that is. So those are my mistakes. Let's dive in and see how civil these comments are. So we're gonna start off with Facebook. Reach 1.8 million views so far. So we go into these comments. The first one has almost 1,000 likes. A 5-piece portion has 280 calories. You've got double that. Stop posting shit on here for views. See this? Get down on it. Because the song that I made was Get Down on It. So I think he's referring to getting down on a certain thing. But the 5-piece portion, again, it's 211 calories if you do the math by the macros, or you're gonna track those ghost calories. If you're tracking macros, you're gonna be in a better position. And so he's saying, stop posting shit on here's for views. I actually have 6 times that order. It's 32 tenders in that box. So my guy, it is, that box is like 1,300 calories. But a lot of people are giving some positive reinforcement on that, but then other people are like, that's still pretty solid macros overall. Why are you lying through your teeth? 5-piece can be up to 570 calories. Because their tenders are inconsistent in size, the minimum is 270. You know we can look up the menu, right? And so... Just people are so aggressive online. And I'm surprised that Facebook's so aggressive because your name is actually there and a picture of you. I thought like YouTube or something else would be, because there's more of an alias. But generally, look at the menu. I'll pull it up for you. Bring the menu over here. Do the math. Calories per macro, and it's 280 calories. Where are you getting this up to? When they say this range on their menus at the store, it'll usually say 270 calories to 580. That is because if you get it blackened, it's 270 calories, technically 211, but if you get it fried, it's gonna be what, the 580 calories. That range is because of the 2 options. So the range for tenders is those 2 options. It's not that if you get blackened tenders, they're up to 580 calories, which would be probably, you drink a cup of oil with it. So people be mad. And sodium content, we'll talk more about that. There's gonna be a lot of that. $100 box of chicken, those blackened tenders are high dollar. They're not cheap. They're like $2 per. I went into my credit card statement. This box of chicken tenders was $81. So that was, that's after tax. And actually we got mac and cheese and stuff too. So I think it was closer probably to tenders, tax and all that, probably closer to like 70 bucks, 32 pieces. So right around $2 per tender. And these are little tenders. However, if you have, let's say 5 of them, let's say they're $2 per tender. I think you can get like for $9, maybe a 5-piece. You're gonna get 40 grams of protein, and if you went to a meal prep company for like 40 grams of protein, 50 grams of protein, you're often looking at, in 2025, like 15 bucks per meal. So generally, if you're gonna make your own sides of rice and vegetables, it could actually be, from a high protein like meal standpoint, it could be argued as cost effective, but you know, spending 80 bucks at Popeyes is pretty wild. But these things, for sure, they are not cheap. I did sell a kidney to get these. My Popeyes doesn't offer blackened versions anymore. Mine does. I mean, sometimes they are cooked to order, so it can take 10 to 15 minutes. And some Popeyes are just like, who got time for that? We got a busy line. We're not gonna do that. He means 210 calories dipping sauce. I was dipping them in buffalo sauce at 60 calories, but they're right. I did not include that into my comparison. So if you just took them dry, it's gonna be that 210 calories. Not a chance in hell. This is 43 grams of protein, 210 calories. You're telling me this has the same calories as 3 eggs. Probably why you're small, dude. You're under eating, thinking you're not. So it's literally on their website. And if you know that there's 70 calories in an egg, you've probably tracked your macros. Like chicken is pretty, calorie efficient. But wait, I responded to him and I'm like, all right, I don't know if I qualify as, small. I'm 220 pounds because I'm tall, have a heavy skeleton. And then he's like, you're not victim weight. I apologize. Keep growing, my dude. People come hard, but oftentimes like you respond and they're like, oh, yo, like, let's be best friends. But yeah, I mean, that was just like a very interesting one right there. Incredibly mid-physique and can't even get the calories correct on a fast food menu. That's public information is crazy. Tears. Anyone choosing this dude of all people for fitness tips is a certified moron. Couldn't possibly be because we get our clients great results and I walk the walk-in of won my pro card in natural bodybuilding. But mid-physique, he is right. As far as influencers are concerned, there's a lot of people on those extra vitamins. So I would probably say, if you're looking at influencers, I'm gonna be a mid-tier physique. I am pro in a natural bodybuilding organization, the OCB. However, there's tens of thousands of people probably with bigger muscles than me taking some extra vitamins, which I didn't choose to do. So not wrong, but dang, man, mid-physique, this is pretty rough. But if you want to be a certified moron and join my coaching program, you can go to the link in the bio and see if HFP is a good fit for you. All those tenors are 1,200 to 1,500 calories, pretty spot on. I think they're about 1,300 calories. Isn't protein itself something like 7 calories? FOH, which means F out of here. It's 4. If you're coming in hot, like you at least gotta know your stuff, bro. Like ChatGPT, I'm pretty sure it's free nowadays. Like, come on. And then Samuel Denny, someone who's got clear space. This is how you politely disagree. Is this guy capping? Yes, but the numbers are not that far off. If you're thinking that, the 280 calories on the menu is accurate, but you looked at the macros and the calories associated that way, 210. And so potato, tomato, whatever. He's also saying the dipping sauce is buffalo, which is actually low calorie. So homeboy like knows his stuff. So Samuel Denny, you're a cool dude. It's just like, don't crucify the guy. Like, there's a pretty good tip. Like, if you think it's 280 calories, whatever, he's saying it's 210 calories. But I have reasons for my madness, ultimately. Bro, that is way more than 210 calories, you liar. You think I'm saying 32 pieces of chicken is 200 calories? People are wild. Like, they think that I'm trying to get away with that. And then finally on Facebook, we got effing garbage content. There's like 800 calories plus the sauce, 150 calories at least guaranteed, 2x daily recommendation of sodium and saturated fat, blah, 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 other words. It's 60 calories for the buffalo sauce. I think it's one of the most calorie efficient sauces at Popeyes. And then also it's 3 grams of total fat. He's saying that the daily fat, limit for saturated fat is 1.5 grams. Bro, like, come on now. So you can't, I don't know, man. Like, so that's Facebook. Now let's see what the other social medias have to say. If you guys want to go roast me, go check it out on Facebook. It's on my Facebook page. But now we're going to go into TikTok. We got, I think, a couple others. So on TikTok, it has hit 300,000 views so far. Let's scroll and see what we got. In the beginning, we got the 2,400 milligrams of sodium. We got, according to Popeyes, this has 920 milligrams of sodium. And then somebody else says, all of these people crying about the sodium, that's going to make for a juicy pump. They don't know any better. You're right, homie. However, as far as sodium intake is concerned, a gram of sodium in a meal, blasphemy. A gram of electrolytes in like a athletic powder, whoa, give me that. And so I'd be drinking this when I'm training. But generally, my opinion with sodium is if you have a healthy body composition, if you are active, if you are sweating, and most importantly, if you are getting sufficient fluids in your body, which is going to allow your kidneys to do their job, which is auto-regulate the excretion of sodium and concentration of sodium in your urine, you're gonna be in a pretty good position. If your doctor says differently, listen to your doctor, but generally, healthy body composition, drink enough fluids, and you're gonna be able to flush out excess sodium. But also, if you're super under-sodiumed and you're sweating a lot, that could be a missing piece for you to perform a little bit better. But that's kind of my general opinion, and also get sufficient potassium. But if your doctor says otherwise, listen to your doctor. Oh, but sick pumps though. $80 of wings in that box, $500. Again, this was like a $70 chicken order, and it'd be like that, sold a kidney, mortgaged the house, but your boy hit his protein. And having a house or having big biceps, don't even ask me that. Somebody guessed the price was $68.35, 65 cents short. So are we emitting the oil it's cooked in? So there isn't any breading for the oil to adhere to, but this is a great comment. So what I often do, just because I'm suspicious with these macros as well, especially if they're fried, but they just have nothing for it to adhere to, I'll still pat them dry oftentimes with like a napkin. Some people do that to like pizza. If you see a bunch of oil on top, you can just pat that out and you probably will save some calories. I tend to do that because I am even like, these macros are almost too good to be true. No way that box is 210 calories. Per 5 piece, this is 32 pieces. That is good to know. Wrong. 5 pieces, 280 calories, 43 grams of protein. Well, your math may, in fact, be better than theirs. I actually think that's a new comment, like that 12 hours ago, but I appreciate when someone says, like, again, I understand some people like it's 280 calories and that's what it says, and I agree with that, but the macros, like, there is a miscalculation there in some way, but I appreciate when someone says, like, yo, I think maybe I'm wrong, but I can see where you're coming from. I respect that. So Satir and Sage, you're a homie. So that was TikTok, and now, again, if you want to roast me, go to my TikTok and have fun with it. And then we got 40,000 views on Instagram for me. That's a pretty good performing post. This is also where I give people access to get the fast food guide, which again, 40 plus high protein meals. You can get that with the pinned comment. So you'll see a lot of people commenting FFG to get that. Pobsfoot86, shout out to our HFP member. Sir, we have the order of 3 and 5. I'll take 5 orders of 5. Not far off. I had like 6 orders of it. So 32 pieces. The way that I do this is we were in the mall. I went there and I was just like, I want a meal. I love these. So I got the 2 16-piece family box meal and they just put it all into one. I had probably like 8 or something for a meal then, and then I bring them home, keep them in the fridge, and I'll take 6 to 8 out at a time. And I'll usually throw them on high fiber bread, and that's kind of my meal prep for a lot of quick meals. Gets me 50 plus grams of protein per meal. Could say if that's cost effective or not. You can make these at home, etc., but that just works for me. I waited 37 minutes for them one time. I said never again. It'd be like that sometimes. So we're lucky that ours is in the mall, so I can go walk over and say like, hey, can I get this order? And they're like, yeah, it'll be 10 minutes. And then we'll just go around for 20 minutes and then come back and then it'll be ready. So a little cheat code there, but if you're going to an actual standalone, it's kind of tough. I refuse to believe people actually go out of their way to pay for grilled chicken breast when it takes 10 minutes to make. Some people just don't want to cook it, you know, get their hands all salmonella-y, wash their hands, all the dishes and all that stuff. And I get it, and that's why fast food industry is an $800 billion industry. People pay for convenience. So it'd be like that. 43 grams of protein, 60 grams of fat. Like that wouldn't be 210 calories? I doubt it's 210 calories. All right, right on. And now can we have the fat content, please? 3 grams. Whoa, thanks for the response. Gave them the macros. You're a beast, just discovered the Taco Bell, and gave me a cheat code from Taco Bell. So a lot of times people are a lot nicer when you actually get that conversation started, but like people come in hot. And so that is pretty much everything for this reaction to these comments. And if there's anything that I've learned is people on Facebook need an outlet, bro. Like, stop bottling that stuff out, go outside, touch some grass. It's all gonna be okay, bros. We're all gonna get big biceps. And if you're someone who's short on time and you want some high protein meals on the go, I have my fast food guide, which this is part of it. And I'm gonna drop it in the pinned link down below. Click on that, let me know where to email that fast food guide, and it's got 40 plus high protein meals at 20 plus restaurants, under 700 calories or less. So hope that's helpful. We'll talk to you guys next time.